The movie opens with a jarring scene. A woman bound to a chair, her eyes wide with fear. A man named Max makes a call to Antoine Duris, a wealthy banker with a polished life and a hidden past. The woman is Iris, Antoine's wife. Max demands 500,000 euros for her release and warns Antoine not to involve the police unless he wants her dead. But the police are already in the loop. They visit Antoine, who recounts the last time he saw Iris. They'd had lunch together. She stepped outside the restaurant while he paid the bill, saying she might go shopping. When Antoine came out, she was gone. Assuming she'd left without telling him, he headed to the office. Hours later, he learns the truth. Iris has been kidnapped. The investigation kicks off. Antoine waits anxiously for the kidnapper's call. When it finally comes, Max gives him the time and location for the ransom drop, platform 15 at the train station. The police wire Antoine's phone and assign undercover officers to follow him. Antoine arrives at the station, tense and alert. Max watches from a distance, scanning the crowd. He boards the train, keeping eyes on Antoine. But just as Antoine is about to step on, he hesitates. He backs out. The exchange fails. Max returns to his apartment, only to find Iris dead on the bed. Panic sets in. The police arrive, responding to a neighbor's complaint about a woman screaming. Max hides the body and spins a lie. He fought with his wife. She stormed out. The officers inspect the apartment and leave, unaware of the truth. That night, Max drives out and buries the body. Meanwhile, investigators dig into Antoine's financial records. They suspect the kidnapper might be one of the bank's debtors. Antoine claims ignorance. But Max? He's on that list. And he's got a criminal record. The cops show up at his garage under the guise of a routine check. But he's now their prime suspect. Later, Max hits a nightclub for a drink and sees her. Iris. But something's off. This isn't the woman he kidnapped. Confused and shaken, he digs up the grave. The real Iris is still there. Dead. So who did he kidnap? Determined to uncover the truth, Max begins tailing Antoine. One day, Antoine senses he's being followed and abruptly exits the train. Max arrives at a place where he once tracked Antoine. It's a place where influential men indulge in the company of prostitutes. Among the entertainers, a captivating stripper dances on a pole while wearing a mask, drawing everyone's attention. As Max approaches her, he realizes that she is Iris, the woman he had previously kidnapped. She goes by the name Claudia, a well-known stripper and Antoine's mistress. He mentions that Iris has a brother with whom she doesn't get along. Iris has been seeing a counselor for a while. Antoine never mentioned it, but the police dug deeper and found out anyway. Through the therapist, they uncovered a disturbing truth. The couple's intimacy is fractured. Antoine prefers violent, dominant sex. Iris does not. When confronted, Antoine confesses. He pays prostitutes to satisfy his desires. That confession shifts the spotlight. Antoine is no longer just a grieving husband. He's now a suspect. But Antoine isn't going down without a fight. He meets Max, the man he handpicked to carry out Iris's murder. Why Max? Because Antoine knew his past. A criminal record. A mountain of debt. A man desperate enough to do anything for a way out. But now, Antoine flips the script. He offers to wipe Max's house debt clean if Max takes the fall. Max is livid, but powerless. No matter how badly he wants to expose the truth, his voice is drowned out by the sound of money. Antoine moves to the next phase. He invites a police officer to his home and spins another tale. He claims Iris once told him a mechanic had been following her. But the officer has heard a different version from Iris's brother, with whom she got along very well. She said she was being followed by a woman. Still, Antoine knows how to manipulate. He plays on the officer's emotions, twisting trust and betrayal into a weapon. The next day, the police storms into Max's apartment. But he's gone. Meanwhile, Max has taken matters into his own hands. He kidnaps Claudia, the woman he once thought was Iris. And she doesn't hold back. She spills everything. Antoine wasn't just a client at her strip club. He was obsessed. Their affair turned into something darker. Antoine instructed Claudia to study Iris's behavior, mimic her mannerisms, and become her shadow. One day, while Antoine and Claudia were playing out one of his fantasies, Iris walked in. She found her husband naked, humiliated, and spanked. Enraged, she attacked Claudia. The fight escalated. Iris strangled Claudia, slammed her to the floor, until Claudia struck back with a metal cup. Iris died instantly. To hide the crime, they devised a plan. After lunch with Antoine, Claudia went to Max's garage with a wad of cash, payment for a staged kidnapping. She claimed she was escaping an abusive husband and wanted to split the ransom 50/50. Max, drowning in debt, reluctantly agreed. But once he left the apartment, Claudia untied herself and placed Iris's hidden corpse on the bed, posing as the victim. Then came the final twist. Claudia left the scene and waited for Max to return. She called the police, pretending to be a neighbor reporting a disturbance. When officers arrived, they found the body and arrested Max for homicide. But the plan didn't go as planned. Max storms into Antoine's office, cold and calculated. He tosses a phone onto Antonio. On the screen, a photo of Claudia. Then, without flinching, he dials a number and demands 500,000 euros for her release. This time, the ransom isn't for Antoine's wife. It's for his mistress. Antoine has no choice. He delivers the money. But this time, the cash buys Claudia's freedom, not his own. Max tells him she's being held in the apartment. Antoine, furious, threatens Max, swearing he'll never get away with it. But Max simply replies, "I already did." Max leaves the apartment with Claudia, her hands bound. He drags her to a hotel room, tense and aggressive. But what follows is unexpected. The tension between them erupts into a moment of twisted intimacy. It's raw, confusing, and charged with everything that's gone wrong. Meanwhile, Antoine searches for Claudia, desperate to regain control. But instead of finding her, he stumbles upon Iris's lifeless body. The realization hits hard. He's been framed. Panic sets in. He rushes home and begins digging a grave in his garden, hoping to bury the evidence before it's too late. But the police arrive just in time. Cornered and broken, Antoine sees no way out. He pulls the trigger. The investigators find his body collapsed over Iris's, a tragic end to a twisted game. The next morning, Max walks out of the hotel with his share of the ransom, just as agreed, leaving the rest to Claudia. And as Claudia disappears with her cut of the chaos, the truth remains buried, just like Iris, beneath a trail of lies, lust, and lives shattered beyond repair. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this.